the praises of anthropology. Let's see. Thank you, Samantha. I got it, I got it. Probably a better optic to started in just a few minutes, but please feel free to get some refreshments or a snack beforehand, and welcome everyone. That's the same thing that always happens to me in class. I start talking and then everything goes silent. It's not what I was looking for. Good afternoon, everyone. So again, welcome. I want to thank everyone for being here. My name is Matthew Libredo. I'm the Alpha Lambda Delta faculty advisor here at Lyon College, and I'm also a professor of anthropology. This is my 6th year at the college. I told a couple people earlier that these types of events kind of make me nervous. Doing event planning isn't really my forte, but thanks for the support, Molly. But they also make me really excited because this is a time that I get to see some of Lyon's best and brightest students and get to also support them and recognize their family, their community, the people that have helped them get to where they are today. And I won't take much time, but I just want to say 2 things that I'm really happy about in terms of the students that are here today, as well as the family members, the professors, the staff, all the other people that are out here supporting. It makes me really happy to see people who have committed to this liberal arts education, because my own view of what a liberal arts education means is it's a commitment to growth in terms of self as well as in terms of society. Right? So everyone that's here today, as far as these students, in a very short time in Lyon have shown how much they excel at both of these types of growth. Right? People, as it says in the program, have a 3.5 GPA, as well as in the top 20% of their class, right? That's a really important academic note. But the thing that to me is more important is that, and I've had several of this year's inductees in class, so I can vouch for this personally, is that the individuals here are committed to growing as people, but also to creating the world that they want to see, right? And what that means to me is that here in our liberal arts education, students are being encouraged to think broadly, deeply, and holistically about the problems that we see in the world. Many times, and this is probably one of my favorite things that happens here at Lyon, is that we'll be discussing something in one of my anthropology classes, and a student will say, that reminds me of something we were talking about in psychology, or in political science, or in economics, or biology, or English, or computer science, right? And the list, some of those connections seem pretty obvious, but the list of what connects to what is actually really expansive. It's not just the things that seem the most obvious. So that students are grasping this and seeing these connections and thinking broadly about the world that we live in as a part of their own growth is really important. To me, perhaps even the more meaningful component is that for students here, it's not just about getting ahead as an individual, right? And the fact that I see so many family members and people that have come out to support reinforces that. There's this commitment to building a better society. What that means is going to be quite different for different people, right? Again, my field's anthropology. That's something that I love. But something that I think is really key about the work we do here at Lyon is that we don't tell any students what their path should be. Our goal here as educators is to try and open as many doors of possibility as we can to the students and let them see that the path that they want to make this world better is through biology and through veterinary medicine, or the path is through social work, or the path is through becoming a doctor, becoming a lawyer. The path is through working abroad in international development, right? What those paths are really endless. But it gives me such great pleasure to see the students who have embarked on that in their first year, and who I have no doubt will continue to embark on that in their time at Lyon, as well as so many other people that have been integral to getting them to this point so far. So I just want to say welcome again. Thanks for being here. Congratulations to the new class, the new inductees, and I want to pass it over to Catherine Mills, our current president of Alpha Lambda Delta.
Hey everyone, as you said, I'm Catherine. I'm the president of my year's cohort for Alpha Lambda Delta. I just want to welcome you all and congratulate you all again here. And the main thing that I want to get across is for you all to be proud of yourselves, because I know that sounds really cliche, but I know how easy it can be to forget about how hard you work and how hard the things that you're doing are. It can be really easy to let your goals become more of expectations instead of something that you're striving to do and looking forward to do. And so make sure that you're appreciating your own hard work just as everyone else does, because obviously everyone else here is appreciating your hard work just by having this ceremony and all of you sitting in this room. Your hard work is getting appreciated, and as you can see by all the families and professors that came, they all respect you for that work and they all appreciate it. So you need to appreciate that with yourself as well. Continue to push yourself really hard, and I encourage you to look for a leadership position. I was really scared about becoming president and running for president because I hadn't had an officer position in a club or anything, but I ran anyways and I got it. And even though I was nervous, this is a really safe place to do that and push yourself and step out of your comfort zone. Everyone else here is a freshman. You're all in the same playing field. You know, you're all as qualified as each other. So don't be nervous to push yourself and run for an officer position or a leadership position here and in any other club or anything like that. So yeah, my main thing is just to be proud of yourself, and congratulations. And speaking of leadership, one of the leaders of our college is following me up, our provost, Dr. Grafton.
Where are the officers of Alpha Lambda Delta? Catherine, you stand up. Stand up. And you too, Dr. Libredo. They keep this going. They make this happen. Let's see how loud you can be in thanking them. Thank you. So I'm not going to talk long because I'd much rather hear Annie than I would me. The title of my remarks are Why It Matters, and I want to say this to the inductees. And first, the it part is being inducted, being recognized for the hard work you've done. Why it matters? The truth is, it does not. Unless you make it matter. That's how it's going to happen. It's only going to matter if you make it matter, if you take a hand in being a leader. But more importantly, I want to challenge you to make it matter by doing the following, and that is paying it forward. You have shown that you have been successful in this first year. I want you to pay it forward next fall. I want you to look when you see those new students coming in, and I want you to see the ones that are in the hallway wondering, where am I supposed to go? I want you to see the ones who are struggling in that first class that they've got, or wondering how they're supposed to study for this exam that Dr. Libredo is going to give them, or something like that. And I want you to figuratively take them by the hand and help them through it and say, you know what, you can do it too. That is the best way you can make it matter that you're being inducted and recognized for the good work that you've done. So congratulations. Keep up the good work through the years. I look forward to seeing what all of you are going to do. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Annie. I'm a junior English and Spanish major here at Lyon, and I wanted to first off say congratulations to all of you who are getting inducted, and congratulations to all of you who are looking around and seeing your peers, students, your children, grandchildren, or just any other friends, family members getting inducted today, because this is a very big deal. And one of the things I want to talk about is very similar to what Dr. Libredo touched on earlier. It's actually a perfect transition. I want to talk about what I've learned in my time at Lyon, and specifically why a liberal arts education and the Lyon education has been so important to my life and so influential to me as a person. So when I came to Lyon as a freshman, I came in with a very different perspective than I have now. I came in, I figured out what a liberal arts education was, and I kind of just thought, oh, you have to take classes that aren't required for your major or your degree, and that's so annoying. I have to learn about all that stuff, but it's fine. I'll do it if that's what I have to do to get my degree. And so when I came in as a freshman, I came in with that expectation of, I'm going to take these core requirements, do just well enough in them to get an A or some decent grade, and then get out of here on graduation. But I remember my thoughts, my opinion on that started to change a little into my second semester at Lyon, whenever I was taking Spanish 102 with Dr. Stephanie Saunders. And I remember I took the class and I thought, oh, core requirement at Lyon, I have to take a certain amount of hours of a language. I guess I'll do Spanish if I have to do it. And I remember at the time I worked in a little boutique off campus here in Batesville, and I was working by myself one evening, and I had a customer come in. There was nobody else in the store. It was a bit of a slow day, and I greeted him. He kind of just smiled and didn't say anything to me back, and I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to go back to doing my work on the computer at my desk. And a few seconds later, I heard he, tapped the table, and he showed me his phone screen. And on his phone screen, he had Google Translate pulled up, and it was translating from Spanish to English. And he said, it said something along the lines of like, I speak very little English, but I need help finding a gift for my sister. And so this began my first ever interaction speaking Spanish to someone not in a classroom setting. And so I said to him in Spanish, probably some pretty broken Spanish at the time, considering I only taken about a semester and a half of Spanish. But we helped each other. I was speaking to him in broken Spanish. He was speaking to me in broken English. And we just started having this very fun, casual conversation. And before he left, he said to me, he bought his sister's gift, and he said to me in English, he was like, "Thank you so much. You're so lucky to be able to learn a language at a university." And then he left, and I haven't seen him since. I don't even know his name, but that was an interaction that just stuck with me for a very long time, and I felt a little guilty of like, oh, I've been complaining about having to do these core requirements at Lyon and having to learn languages and take an exam, and I've been sitting here thinking, what good is this ever going to do me? I'm an English major. What am I going to get out of this? And so after that, I kind of started, if you were paying attention earlier, you might notice that I said I'm a Spanish and English double major. So I decided to take on the Spanish double major, and now I wish I could find him again and show him how much I've learned, and maybe he's learned more too. But so that, I've also noticed how, with that interaction, I've noticed how these other classes that I've taken in Lyon, what I learned in them, is really embedded in everyday life, you know. Even just a few days ago, I was at a conference, and I was presenting research with a lot of other undergraduate researchers, and I was put around a bunch of, there was an engineering poster to my right, there was a biology poster to my left, some math in front of me, and I was presenting on literature. And I turned to the girl next to me, the one who had the biology poster, and I noticed that she was doing something about photosynthesis, and I recognized words in her poster because last semester I had to take Bio 110 with a lab because that's a requirement at Lyon, to graduate at Lyon. And I remember I looked at her and I said, "Oh, I understand what this is about a little bit." And she was like, "Really? But you said you're an English major." And I was like, "Yeah, but I've seen this before." And so we had just a fun conversation, and we were sharing things back and forth with each other. And I followed along with a biology conversation with a girl from Texas who I'll probably never see again. But with that, I hope that you can now look at the education that you're receiving from Lyon and think about how even in these classes that you don't necessarily see how they're fulfilling to you or what they're going to do for you in your future. Just think about not only what those classes can do for you, but someone else, what your education you're receiving at Lyon is going to do for your life. Because you never know when you're going to be out and you're going to hear someone needing help because they speak Spanish, and you know just a few words from Spanish 101 and 102 at Lyon. You never know when you're going to run into someone at a conference and they're going to be really excited when an English major knows something beyond the basics about photosynthesis. And I just encourage you to think about that and bring that into your everyday life. Thank you.
If the initiates will please stand and repeat after me. I accept membership into National Alpha Lambda Delta, understanding that in doing so, I assume the responsibility of continuing to maintain its standards of service, of diligence, and of integrity. I pledge to promote high scholarship and to use my education for the benefit of my community, my nation, and the world in which we live. All right, you guys can sit back down, and Dr. Grafton and our Vice President Atlas are going to award pins and certificates.
Would you mind reading the names and have us pass out the pins and certificates? Oh, okay. Or I'll do it. I didn't get to practice. I'll do it. You can pass them out with him. Should be in order there. Sarah Avant. Reese Bailey. Allison Barber. Yeah, let's clap. Let's clap for everybody. That's a good idea. I'm sorry, and this goes for Sarah and Reese, too. Gabe Burfitt. Hannah Cherwin. Mary Hueso. Luca Kentner. Samantha Love. Molly Mason. Mackenzie Massey. Brooklyn Penn. Grace Reeves. Caden Roberts. Avery Robertson. Sydney Wolf. And we will get Sydney and Nora their certificates soon. They joined after the official cutoff date, but they'll be here soon, so we'll get them too. And Nora Kopkow. We'll ask the new inductees to come back up in the same order. I don't think I need to announce everyone's name again, but to sign our roll book, our roll of honor, and our Emily Berry will be assisting with that. right, can we have one more round of applause for the 2024-2025 ALD inductees? Well, I want to thank everyone again for coming out. I really appreciate the support. The support for these students and family and community members coming out means a lot. It's really great to see. And the new inductees, we need to get a picture. We need to get a picture with everyone. And then if we can just chat for a couple minutes about getting a meeting before the end of this semester to start working towards next year. And aside from that, feel free to have refreshments, socialize, and thanks again for coming. Where's Bess, Julie? Okay, that would be great. I say that's great, and I assume